Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, honor, due unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rahakadosh, give honor to the apostles and prophets, with no respect to the brother teaching truth all over the globe worldwide. Basic title of this lesson, excuse me, is to avoid foolish questions. And you got a lot of scoffers and demons that come on the comment board. I rode them through the camps. You know, they always ask a whole bunch of foolish questions. You know, questions that, you know, they don't have anything pertaining to the scriptures. And you see, you have to understand, once those who just waking up in the truth, you know, you're going to be asked a whole bunch of foolish questions that, you know, doesn't make sense. And you have to discern through power and spirit, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the question that you can answer and the question that you should avoid. Because a lot of times you have a lot of scoffers that, you know, that'll come to you, come on your comment board, ask a whole bunch of foolish questions. And a lot of times the reason why a lot of them do that is because a lot of them, they don't get the answer that they want to hear. And what they do, they would take the same question and they would reword it another way. So that way, you know, they try to force you to answer the question. But you have to understand, you know, Yahushua, you know, which the word in and called Jesus Christ, he didn't answer everybody's question. You know, matter of fact, he asked a question with a question. You see. And a lot of people out there want you to believe that you have to, you know what I'm saying, you have to answer their question. But on the same token, you ain't got to answer their question. Because guess what, you know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of, especially among Jake, you see, they, you know, they love to re-answer a question, same question, because they didn't get the answer that they want to hear. And you got a lot of brothers out there, you know, that's in the truth, that already made, you know, lesson up on the question that they answer. You could tell them, okay, you need to go to the search engine to, you know, to find out the answer to your question, because you got a lot of brothers already did lessons on certain questions, like what's the mark of the beast? You know, you have brothers that already made lessons upon top of lessons upon this question. And it's very sad that, you know, you have to be redundant, you know, per se, because a lot of people, they don't want to say that, you know, Great Millstone has the truth. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to, you know, come to that conclusion that the spirit power Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is only dealing with Great Millstone. And a lot of them know that, but you know, what they do, they trying to offset what the spirit is doing, what the Ruach HaKodesh is doing, and so they'll come up with all these different doctrines, saying that that the mark of the beast is not the RFID chip, you know, that we're not gonna go through Jacob's trouble. You know, they say all types of nonsense. Why? Because they don't want to have to admit that the Apostle Elder Great Millstone, you know, they teach the 100% truth. So, you know what they do? They do everything that they can to try to offset the truth by saying that, you know, they're not teaching the correct doctrine, you know, per se. So when you approach with a lot of these questions, you know, if they're questions that you feel in spirit that the brother's already been teaching, you tell them you go to the Google search engine to get the answer to your question. If that doesn't suffice, then the spirit is not dealing with you. You see, and that's what you gotta understand. The Ruach HaKodesh spirit and power Yahweh Hashem Yahushua not dealing with, you know, a lot of J's, man. And so what they want to do, they want you to, you know, per se, they want you to get them answers based off of your emotions. And when you're dealing with the scriptures, you have to understand that can't, that your emotions, doesn't determine the outcome of the scripture. You see, you gotta let them know that, hey, it's not by my emotion, not by your emotion, not by your feelings. It's not about my feelings, but it's about what the scriptures say. You see, and the scripture also tell us, we got to avoid foolish genealogies, avoid foolish questions, pretty much. Why? Because a lot of these questions that a lot of Israelites ask, and a lot of the heathen ask, more likely they're foolish questions. They're questions that they know they already got the answer to, but yet they will keep re-asking the same question to a different brother. So that way they feel that they're going to get a different answer. But guess what? You know what I'm saying? You answer them in the same like manner. They already asked that question to a brother. You ask them in the same like manner. Or you tell them, hey, the brother already answered your question for you. I'm not going to re-answer the same question that another brother already answered. But that answer he gave you, as according to the scripture, don't suffice. Then I don't know what to tell you. Because like I said, a lot of these Israelites, they want you to answer their question, off your emotions. You see, and that's how the Spirit don't operate in that manner. The Spirit operates in a manner that, that's only dealing with the elect anyway. And you have to know when the brother is sincere, or when the sister or aquas, which is the sister, which is, believe they're sincere or they're not. Because they are sincere, then, you answer a question, you can do it for edification purposes. But you see, you got a lot of Israelites out here that are on that BS level right now. You see, you got people that get mad over the truth, and what they do, they say that, they ain't got the 100% truth, and they ain't got this, they don't have that, and you can tell that they full of nonsense. They full of BS because number one, they want to they want to be proven right. You see, they want to be proven that they had 100% truth. Well, a lot of them don't. A lot of them ask you questions, but guess what? If they come to keep asking you questions, you start asking them questions according to the scriptures. Your house shot, according to scripture, they came to your house shot and they asked them about what authority that, by what authority you do these things, who gave you this authority. Your house shot, bro, your house shot, and asked him a question. He said, you know what, I'm going to ask you a question. He said, if you can answer my question, he said, I'll tell you about what authority I do these things. And he went on to ask him a question. He said, the baptism of John, which was it? Was it from heaven or was it from man? And it's another part, in another gospel, he said, answer me. He said, answer my question. I just asked you a question, I answer my question. The scripture goes on to say they reason among themselves, and they said, if we say it's from heaven, he said, you're gonna ask a question why we don't believe on them. And then he said, if we say a man, then they're afraid of people. They counted John as a prophet. And they already knew the answer to the question, but they told Yahushua, we can't tell. And then Yahushua told him, he said, now what I tell you about what authority I do these things. So that shows you right there that, if they ain't gonna answer your question, you don't have to answer their question pretty much. Because a lot of people, they want you to answer their questions, and then when you turn around, you prove them with questions according to the scriptures, they don't want to answer the question. Well, you expect the prophets, the men of the Lord, to always answer your questions all the time. When they come with you with questions, and they want you to answer, and guess what? You act like you don't want to answer the question. And that's how you deal with a lot of these scoffers out here, man. That they're not going to answer your question according to the scripture, and you stand and show me in the scripture, they're not going to answer. Guess what? You don't have to answer their question. And that's how a lot of these these scoffers and these demons, you got to deal with them, man. You don't answer their question. You ask them a question, they can't answer your question, then you start dealing with them. Why? Because they ain't got no truth in them. They have no light in them whatsoever. Because in their mind, because they ain't got no truth in them. Because they did have truth in them, they would answer the question according to the scripture, which they're not gonna do that. Why? Because they will get cut by the scriptures, so they're not gonna answer the question. A lot of them have cognitive dissonance, meaning that you can prove them in scripture that it's true, and they still would deny it. Because they get taught, by their slave masters to deny. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't according to what they believe on how they feel, guess what? You deny it. So that's what they do. Like I said before, you don't have to answer everybody's question. You see, if they ain't bringing out no scripture, they ain't bringing out no facts, they ain't sincere, you ain't got to answer their question. And then you have, I'm not saying you got everybody's a scoffer, You got people out there that would, they ask a question out of sincerity. But you got a lot of false prophets and false people out there among Israel that ask you questions because they want to get an answer that they want to hear. And when you give an answer according to scripture, if that don't suffice to them, they'll come back at you with the same question, but in a different format. But now, however, like I said, you don't have to answer their question. If they can't, if they can't, provide you with an answer to your question, you don't have to provide an answer to them for their question. You see, that's what the prophets and men Lord are dealing with. They dealing with a whole bunch of scoffers that ain't got no fruit, ain't got no type of evidence. But yeah, and still they want the men Lord to always answer their question. It's a lot of instances in the scriptures that you ain't got to answer their question. You see? Like I said, big bro, Yahushua didn't answer everybody's question. Why? Because guess what? He know that they full of BS. That's the reason why he didn't answer their question. You have a lot of Israelites they full of BS because I'm not saying all of them, but majority of them are full of BS because guess what? They're wicked. They're very wicked. They expect you to answer their question. And guess what? You ain't got to answer their question. They ain't coming with no they ain't coming with the knowledge of the truth. You ain't got to answer their question. You see? What they want you to do, they want you to argue. You know what I'm saying? They want you to argue according to the scriptures. Guess what? You ain't got no time for that. If they ain't coming with no facts, and they don't want to answer the question, guess what? You ain't got to answer their question. You see? And that's what it's all about. Dealing with a whole bunch of foolishness in Israel. And a lot of them, they ask a lot of, idiotic questions, per se. They ask a lot of questions, and then the questions that they ask has already been answered. You see, but since the answer don't suffice them, they'll re-ask you the same question. They reword in different formats. But their answer don't suffice what the other brother already gave them. Guess what? The spirit is not dealing with them, and so you should not deal with them according to power spirit Yahweh Shem Shah. You see. That's it for a lesson. Just want to touch upon that this morning. I pray that this lesson will edify. I want to say, call the Hoya, Yahweh, Shem Shah, Shem Rahakadash, double honors to the apostle, elders, and prophets, enough respect to the brothers teaching and preaching the truth all over the globe worldwide. See you again with another lesson real soon. Yahweh willing, Shalom, Abba Ball, and Kwam Yasharala.